it doesn't matter if the world is chaos outside. I am the creator of my reality. I am able to settle my body back down, settle my emotions back down, and master myself. I was diagnosed with refractory myasthenia gravis in 2021. And whomever doesn't know what this disease is it's a neuromuscular, severe, chronic, and progressive disease. It's incurable according to Western medicine. So at first, when I was diagnosed, I was unable to chew and to eat, to swallow. And as time started going by and it started progressing, I was unable to walk, talk, breathe. I ended up on a vent with a stay-at-home caregiver, and I was bedridden for about 2.5 years, more or less. And in this time, it was really hard for me because I'm pretty young and all my friends were partying and they were getting engaged, they were getting married, and I was always in the hospital. They would take all my blood out every single week. They would clean out all the plasma and put it back in. So it was a hard time for me. And with this disease, they added other diagnoses because due to all the medicine that I was taking, such as very high doses of steroids and things, they also diagnosed me with thrombocytopenic purpura. And my blood platelets were very, very low, and I would get all these bruises. And I got a fungi in my lungs that's called Pneumocystis jirovecii. And it was so severe that I was in the ICU with a probability of survival of 14%. This was last December, last Christmas. I spent Christmas and New Year's in the hospital alone. Dr. Joe's work saved my life because when I started hearing about his work, I was recently diagnosed. I was still able to walk, so I was able to come to one of the retreats. And I started doing all this work. I was very, very consistent with the meditations. I was very consistent with being analytical of what I was thinking every day and what I was telling myself in my subconscious mind. But unfortunately, even though I was doing the work, I had still not overcome many things that I had inside of me. So I did get worse many times before I got better. It took me 3 years to actually heal. And throughout these 3 years, I was doing the work, and I had so many dark night of the souls, so many nights when I was like, well, maybe it works for everyone, but not for me, because I've been to all the events, I've received coherence healings, I'm doing my meditations, and I'm bedridden. Then I would get one little glimpse of hope because the divine would send me one day out of nowhere. I would be able to chew, or I would be able to eat one meal, and then I would feel bad again. And I was like, well, it was after a meditation that I was able to chew, so I'm going to keep going. And when I truly, truly knew that this worked was with the fungi in my lungs, because my blood platelets doubled without even receiving a blood transfusion in the hospital. So the doctors were like, how did her blood platelets double in one day? Like, they were still very low, but from like a very, very, very scary low number, they doubled after a coherence healing. And I was like, no, I have to keep going. Throughout my transformation, I realized that it wasn't necessarily the meditations that I was doing, because I kept thinking that I had to do blessings of the energy center so I would create coherence in my body, or then I would have to tune into health. But it really wasn't that. It was all about changing. And it was about becoming someone else and letting go of who I was before, because in those times, I always wanted to control everything. I wanted to control what the doctor said, what medicine I was going to take. I was always so afraid. And the moment that I started actually getting better was when I surrendered my consciousness into a greater consciousness. And I would stop trying to control the outcomes. I trusted the unknown, even though it was uncomfortable, even though I was scared. I was scared so many days, so many times. And the moment I truly faced my fears of dying, of staying bedridden forever, and I stopped moping and being sorry for myself and being a victim of the situation, the moment I was like, well, even if I stay bedridden, or even if I am on a wheelchair, or even if I'm young and I can't do all of these things, look at all the other things I can do. Like, how blessed am I that in a third world country such as Mexico, I'm Mexican, I have such an amazing insurance company that pays for like amazing medical treatment, and I have such an amazing opportunity to be able to do meditations every day, and I have such an amazing opportunity to, through this disease, have met an incredible community and have all this love pouring onto me that I wouldn't have received if I hadn't become ill. So I started looking at positive things. I was like, well, I still get to be with my nephew. I still get to be with my niece. I still get to watch the sunset. I get to like have a really amazing, cozy, delicious bed, like things like that. And when I started being like that and just looking at the positive and also allowing myself to let go of control, and it was a situation where I was no longer in control. My body was raging and it was showing all these symptoms, and the more I tried to control them, what you resist persists. So if I would try to control, I would get worse. The moment I would surrender and just accept things as they were and felt love and joy and gratitude, the more I would come out of it better. I started feeling so much better about 8-9 months ago, but I was still a little bit afraid of doing a story of transformation just yet, because I was like, what if so many times before I would get better and then get worse again, that I was like, what if I do a story of transformation to the community and then I get worse again, and they're like, oh, that's a scam. So I waited, but now I'm positive that it's real, because my blood platelets are in normal values right now, which they had never been. Everything is normal. And I do my practice every single day. And more than anything, it's not even about only meditating with my eyes closed. It's about who I am now with my eyes open, because now I react differently to situations that are the same way they were 6 months ago or 10 months ago, where I would have collapsed emotionally. But now I have so many different tools, and I am so aware of myself through meditation. I was able to actually know myself on a deeper level, that now I feel like it doesn't matter if the world is chaos outside. Like, I am the creator of my reality. I've empowered myself. I now know that the power lies within me. It's not in the doctor's office. It's not even in a coherence healing. Like, of course, they're amazing and all the work is amazing, but the moment I was ready to receive and I felt worthy of the divine blessing me was the moment that I truly healed.